now, but, you know, a wonderful cup run, and they'll be looking to make it further into this competition tonight.
On back-to-back NPL Queensland premierships, not last season, but the season prior, did Peninsula Power, and have made somewhat of a habit of making it into the round of 32 of the Australia Cup. Their 4th appearance and their 3rd time playing A-League opposition. Referee Shane Skinner getting us underway here at AJ Kelly Park. The round of 32 has started. Peninsula Power hosting the Wellington Phoenix. Campbell Johnson and Scott McDonald in commentary tonight. And a great opportunity for Lucas Kelly-Hill, the youngster. He's been shown a great deal of faith by Giancarlo Italiano in the Wellington Phoenix hierarchy, signing a 4-year contract with the club, the longest in their history. Here is Zavada, the one to watch. He was courted by Herenveen this off-season in the Netherlands, but didn't come to fruition. Could it be one back here? Tim Payne, the experienced head, does very well to evade the oncoming traffic. And Kane Gibbs, the former Brisbane Roar youth player.
I'll tell you what, Campbell, I'd like to see that again. That looked very, very tight. Wonderful little run there. Krayev playing the ball over the top for Barbarouses, and that's certainly going to be a threat all night for Wellington Phoenix. And as we can see in the lineup straight away, we'll see in the replay here how tight it was. Look, oh, maybe just off. Probably a good call from the linesman, but yeah, Italiano's side have lined up in that 4-3-3 with Krayev just in behind Zawada, Barbarouses on that right, and Van Huttem on the left-hand side, touching the touchline at the moment.
An experienced front line with 3 of the players, at least Barbarouses, bags of experience. Božidar Krayev, plenty of pedigree, as well as Oscar Zavada. Božidar Krayev, the first Bulgarian to play in the Isuzu Ute A-League. His debut season last year. Impressed in a bit of a hybrid role. Finn Sermon under pressure now from Obren Klajcic.
You talk about hybrid roles. You see Woolley there just at the bottom of the diamond for Peninsula Power. Not his natural role, but he played there against us on the weekend, did an exceptional job, and they'll be looking for him to link the play all night for them and trying to play those balls over the top, I would expect.
Scott McDonald coaching the Gold Coast Knights in the NPL Queensland, who do have a meeting with Devonport Strikers in the Australia Cup round of 32 just next week. An exciting opportunity, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. One we're looking forward to. A tough opposition. They're in wonderful form, top of their league as well. So if you've got a spare evening on Wednesday night, please come down and watch, which should be a good occasion, I hope.
The ball over from Woolley. Scored an Olympico against Green Gully in the round of 16 last year. It was a game that got turned on its head as the foul here given against Brenton Fox. He was a little terrier playing in that 10 role. Former Western Sydney Wanderers and Central Coast Mariners youth product. Here is Rufer of great pedigree. Here's Rufer. Altay finding Barbarouses out wide. Dispossessed. Kane Gibbs doing very well, but one back by Barbarouses, takes a touch through there, and Darcy Madden able to clear the lines for Peninsula Power, the former Sydney FC Academy product and Wollongong Wolves defender. Came to the club this season. Pennington, great ball for Krayev, lovely link up here. Pennington brought down that time by Josh Woolley, the Englishman.
Yeah, no complaints there. Just a little bit overzealous trying to win the ball off Pennington there. It's interesting to see, you know, Wellington Phoenix trying to penetrate that diamond of Peninsula Power. If they're able to do that, then they will get successes, but they certainly will if they get the ball out wide areas and try and isolate those fullbacks, as we can see in the replay there. Yeah, it's a clear foul, and now an opportunity for Wellington Phoenix to test that Peninsula Power defence now inside their own box.
Very experienced defence as well. Hayden McHenry, Lewis Greenwood, 2 of the premier fullbacks here in Queensland. Darcy Madden and Michael McGowan, super experienced centre halves, especially McGowan. Was part of that Brisbane Strikers 2019 side that defeated the Wellington Phoenix in the round of 32. Van Houten standing over the free kick for the Knicks. Delivered towards the back post and cleared well by McGowan. Not quite. As Woolley ends up being able to fully clear the lines for power. Veldemariam holding it up very well for Fox. Trying to slide through. Jack Hindle, the Englishman. Payne. Brought down that time by Hindle. Most recently played in Malaysia. Mid-season signing for Peninsula Power was Jack Hindle. He's come in and hit the ground running. Previously played for Barrow in the English 4th tier, as well as Gateshead and South Shields in the English non-league. Fully brought down by Oscar Van Houten. And the gallery here at Peninsula Power not happy with Oscar Van Houten.
Yeah, well, it's happened right in front of us here. The referee was a little bit slow to obviously make that call, but the right call in the end. Woolley with his lovely little feet there getting out of trouble.
As you have a look on the replay, brought down by the youngster Oscar Van Houten. Lockie Hunter made the move from Olympic FC to Peninsula Power this off-season. In his first year on the Peninsula, experienced great success with Olympic under Ben Kahn, who now coaches Melbourne Knights. Zavada in the box waiting from Krayev, who did make a good run in behind the back line there. Payne. Lucas Kelly-Hield playing at left back today, but the youngster by trade, more of a centre half. Be interesting to see if that is his role during the season. Sam Sutton is on the bench today, who has played a lot of left back for this Wellington Phoenix side, a promising young player himself. Kelly-Hield, more of a towering figure. Alex Paulson, calm under pressure there. Barbarousis able to collect from Altay. Rufer, lovely little move into the box now. Darcy Madden clearing. Kelly-Hield back. Goal bounded. McGowan putting it in a dangerous area. Barbarousis, that time cleared by McGowan, and defensive miscommunication perhaps there, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge mistake there from McGowan. He's looking for his goalkeeper to come. I don't think there was any shout, and that's one they've been let off with there. Barbarousis, an early chance. You'd fully expect him to do a little bit better. I think he's tried to actually cut this ball back. As we see in the replay, yeah, the header just hasn't got enough strength on it. Probably a bit tight. He looks to try and cross it for Zawada. In the end, it's one that got away for them, I think.
The ball in now for the Knicks. Rising is Rufer. Falls to Zavada with a bicycle kick. Saved and cleared. Spectacular. And a foul being called on Oscar Zavada for a high foot there.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Because if that goes in the goal, does he give the foul?
I wouldn't think so.
Absolutely not. So why give the foul then? Sometimes sometimes with the referees, I've got a question, he gets, or is it the head that actually gets to it, or is it the bicycle kick? Probably have to see that again, but for me, if it goes in, it's a goal. So,
and it's one of the goals of the tournament, Scott.
Absolutely. A
brilliant start for Oscar Zavada, trying to show the extraordinary early doors. And Polish forward. The offside flag does go up on the near side. Against Jack Hindle there by the looks of things. Pennington. Kelly-Hield. Sermon. Paulson under pressure from Hindle now. Peninsula Power pressing Wellington Phoenix very well, not sitting back, not absorbing or parking the bus, as the colloquialism says. Rufer. Barbarousis dancing around Lewis Greenwood, who works in pest control by day, as it were. Paulson, young shot stopper, plenty of promise. Ollie Sale departing the club in the off-season for Perth Glory. McHenry, nice ball in. Kalajdzic. Henry bombarding forward. Pennington unable to keep it in play after winning it back.
That was better work for Kalajdzic there. They're going to need a lot more of that from their front too to try and hold that ball up, get Peninsula Power up that football pitch, or else it's going to be a difficult night all round if they don't lock it in up top, because as we've seen already in the first sort of 10 minutes, it's been Wellington Phoenix well in control of the possession so far.
The middle of the pitch was able to be opened up there by the pass, but shut down well by Lewis Greenwood. Kelly Hield under pressure from Kalajdzic. Krajev. Valdemarian putting on the pressure. Pennington. Formerly of Cagliari in Italy. Van Hattem. Trying to get past McHenry. Gets the ball in now and cleared by McGowan. Hindle. Krajev. Peninsula Power dealing with the pressure well so far. A few opportunities for Wellington Phoenix. Peninsula Power unable to forge one as of yet. 77% of the possession going the way of the A-League side in the Wellington Phoenix.
Yeah, it's all a little bit too comfortable for Wellington Phoenix at the moment. I would have liked Peninsula Power to have made it a little bit more uncomfortable, particularly the first 10 minutes, being at home, trying to get in their faces, give a little few fouls away up top, you know, up top of the pitch. It's okay, just to let them know that you're here tonight. But at the moment, they're just allowing Wellington Phoenix to really settle into this contest.
Barbarousis does well, and a great challenge there by Josh Woolley. Just able to intercept and shut down the play. As we have another look back at the chance. Oscar Zavada rising.
Yeah, it probably is a foul. The referee, we don't get the fortunate to be actually on the football pitch, but you can see there, I think Greenwood's actually got in front, actually headed the ball, so it is dangerous play. But from where we are, Campbell, it looked all that he had made contact with that overhead kick.
Right decision in the end. Referee's having the best view of it.
Absolutely, we've got to give him props when props are deserved. Very quick to give it to them when they don't, but good call from the referee.
Pennington does well to evade the pressure. Kelly Hield storming forward. A calm head from the youngster Pennington. Zavada, Krajev, tees it up. Zavada from range, a great strike, just over the bar. And not the typical play we see from Oscar Zavada, but pulling out the tricks here at AJ Kelly Park.
No, it was sort of that half sort of curl come lay shot, wasn't it, in the end? And I think Lockie Hunter in the goal probably seen it late, because it didn't actually go into the corner of the goal itself. It just went into the central area and sort of wrong-footed him, hasn't it? But thankfully for Lachlan Hunter, he's seen it go over the crossbar. But another threatening sign for Wellington Phoenix. Some good little link-up play in that final third.
Oscar Zavada looking deadly so far tonight. McHenry does well to collect the loose ball. Beats Van Hattem. McHenry, a great delivery. Rufa, in fact, in pain, able to clear the lines. Barbarousis, shut down by Woolley. Able to recollect in the end, and now an opportunity for the Phoenix. Van Hattem. Pennington. Lifting the ball over for Bojidar Craven, too. Much power on that one. Almost skipped over the head of Lockie Hunter, but had it covered.
Yeah, it's another good ball, though, isn't it, from Pennington? You know, Wellington Phoenix have shown intention to try and get behind that Peninsula Power defence early on here. And just watching the game at the moment, you know, with the way that Power have lined up, as we see another foul on Greenwood there from Barbarousis. With that diamond, it's going to be a long night if they allow Wellington Phoenix to keep switching the play. The diamond having to shift almost completely all over the other side of the football pitch, and a couple of players playing out position in that diamond as well. Big miss for them tonight is Hitchcock, who would normally play in that number 6 role. Big physical specimen. Woolley having to play in there, and Valdemariam actually having to play on the side as we see him chasing the ball now, who would normally play in that 10 role and far more potent in that number 10 role than what he is on that right hand side of the diamond.
Rufa. Joseph Hitchcock scored in the cup last year as well against Northwest Sydney Spirit. Peninsula Power winning 4-1 against another team in yellow and black. Can they do the same tonight? So far, all the traffic has really been with the visitors. Kalajdzic able to maintain possession. Madden lifting the ball for Hindle. Does well to get a touch on it. Kane Gibbs unable to get onto the end of it. Hindle will be cleared by the Phoenix. Van Hattem brought down by McHenry, the captain, and we'll see a yellow card. Quite a late challenge there, and clumsy from the experienced defender.
Well, it's definitely a foul, isn't it, in terms of the interpretation now from the referees and what they deem as a yellow card and what is and what isn't, as we can hear from the Power supporters.
I don't think they think it's a foul, Scott.
I think it's a foul, but it's a bit harsh on the yellow card, particularly it's the first one, isn't it? But I think obviously because he catches him with these studs on his foot there, that's probably the particular reason why the referees felt he's had to give him a card. But unfortunate for McHenry.
McGowan back for Hunter and too wide. Puts it straight out for a corner.
Well, that's a couple of occasions now we've seen McGowan being confused in terms of playing that ball back to his goalkeeper, and again gives Wellington Phoenix another opportunity from a corner to go and attack them.
Had a little bit of its drizzle here before the game. A little bit of rain, perhaps skipping on a little bit there. An experienced defender in Michael McGowan as well, playing in the Scottish Second Division, East Stirlingshire, and in Athletic and Albion Rovers. Wellington Phoenix with another corner, their second of the game. Lifted towards the back post, Crayev heading it down. Pennington with the strike and slicing wide. Always going wide on that occasion from Nick Pennington, but it sat up beautifully, Scott. Yeah, it did, didn't it? And Power failing to get first contact in their own box once again. That's on a couple of occasions now. They haven't managed to. You know, a team that I fully expect to be strong at set pieces, both ends of the pitch, but not getting first contact, and Pennington getting an opportunity there from the edge of the box for Wellington Phoenix. But we're just wondering, you know, how long while this game goes on, and if it's to stay at 0-0 and keep tight. You know, Wellington Phoenix's first competitive match as well, isn't it? So I think Power will be looking to just try and stay in this game for as long as possible and see if those legs get a bit weary on Wellington Phoenix end. Peninsula Power experienced squad. Do you think those nerves have kind of now dissipated after 17 minutes of play?
Well, you'd like to think so. I'd like to see them try and play through the lines a little bit with that overload of the diamond in the midfield.
There's Fox, Hindle. Power with a nice passage of play from the back. Not forcing the issue as well. Kane Gibbs, Valdemarian. Came to the club as more of a winger, playing in the central midfield role. Woolley with that wand of a left foot for McHenry, heading it up towards Kane Gibbs, and Van Hattem does really well to keep that under control.
That's wonderful play there from the youngster there, particularly on the edge of his own box. Cool, calm and collected.
It's one back from Hindle. Moalte giving it away in his first game for the Phoenix. Former Western Sydney Wanderers product. A really good turnout for a round of 32 clash. An A-League club coming to Clubland will always do that. Gibbs giving away the foul on that occasion. Hindle still getting the shot away, however. And Alex Rufer drawing the foul there. Did his ACL about a year and a half ago, 2 years, just down the road from here at Dolphin Stadium against the Brisbane Roar. A 2-1 loss for the Phoenix in that one. Has battled with injuries over the years, Alex Rufer, but really putting together a solid career so far. His father and uncle having fantastic careers. Winton Rufer, his uncle, the Oceania Player of the Century.
Wonderful player.
Played most notably for Werder Bremen in Germany. Another miscommunication there with Michael McGowan, and this time his fullback in Lewis Greenwood, forced to just clear it. Despite Michael McGowan playing the majority of the season at centre half for Peninsula Power. Just some teething issues early in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think that's been an issue all season in terms of defensively. They've not managed to keep McGowan and Madden together throughout this season, and the communication, even Greenwood's been injured for, you know, quite a few weeks, just coming back into the side last weekend. So I think the partnerships and relationships are one that haven't really been built, and still trying to build within this game as well.
Peninsula Power over the years, Hindle almost trying to close down Paulson there, is really chancing his luck there, but does so well to play out of that press. McHenry. Peninsula Power over the seasons have really built a reputation of winning where it counts. Small wins. They haven't won a game by more than a goal this whole season. Veldemariam, it was a good run by Fox. The switch. Gibbs shaping to shoot, trying to buy himself some space, trying to turn between two Wellington players, and Barbarousis doing his defensive duties. Able to win that one there. Greenwood. Power go again, now starting to work their way into the game. Greenwood driving. Greenwood still almost making its way through for Klajic. And Brenton Fox just miscued there. Just put past him. Narrow wins for Peninsula Power. Scoring has really been one of their biggest problems. Their two top scorers on 4 goals apiece. Who will stand up for them tonight where it counts? Josh Woolley's done it in the past. Malachi loves Samira, putting the icing on the cake in their last campaign against Northwest Sydney Spirit. Former Wellington Phoenix player Alex Smith managed to get a goal against Green Gully last year, and Michael McGowan with a brilliant move there, setting up the attack now. Gibbs on the edge of the box, dances inside, gets the shot away, retrieves the ball. Now Hindle struggling to keep it under control. Power with so much time at the back now. Woolley to pick a pass. Veldemariam. Fox. One back by the Phoenix. Kraev. Kelly Hield. Pennington. Plenty of pressure from the Peninsula Power players. Trying to catch the Wellington Phoenix off guard. Trying to force an error. Rufer driving through midfield. Kelly Hield storming forward. Kelly Hield with the strike, and it is held by Lockie Hunter. Low driven and held on to by Lachlan Choco Hunter.
Really, really good play from Wellington Phoenix there. You can see in terms of the build-up play and what Italiano wants from his team, you know, all the way through from the back line, from the keeper Paulson, who's been exceptionally very, very, very good tonight, you know, coming out and playing and making that extra man. But, you know, wonderful little build-up there. Kelly Hill getting that shot on the edge of the box, but comfortable in the end for Lockie Hunter to take cleanly.
Lucas Kelly Hill, his Wellington Phoenix debut today. The 18-year-old. Such a promising young New Zealand defender. His twin brother Albie plays in the reserves. He's a goalkeeper for them. They were both part of New Zealand's under-20 World Cup squad. Klajic. McHenry. It was Hindle trying to let it run there, just couldn't get past the defender on that occasion.
It has been better from Power the last 10 minutes, though, you have to say, albeit that Kelly Hill shot, but prior to that, they had a couple of decent attacks themselves. Just didn't find that final ball, did they? A lot of it's going through the middle of the pitch at the moment. Fullbacks seem to be an outlet for them, but they've not found them just yet to try and get that ball in the box.
And it's a bittersweet day for Peninsula Power as well. Obviously a round of 32. Clash brings plenty of excitement, but one of their players, a former Brisbane Roar player as well, Isaac Powell, has unfortunately gone back into hospital to start his chemotherapy today in his battle with leukemia. I'm told he's watching on from the Royal Brisbane, sending him all of our thoughts and best wishes.
Absolutely.
And a fast recovery. It will be a throw-in for Power. Isaac's younger sister as well plays in the women's team here at Peninsula Power. Who've enjoyed a great rise over the past 2 seasons. Woolley unable to keep it in play. Has really played in a variety of roles in his time at Peninsula Power. Josh Woolley on the left wing back. Now he's playing as a 6.
He even played as a 9 as well last season for big periods of the season. You know, talking to the chairman of the football club, it's somewhere where they've really been frustrated in trying to recruit from in that number 9 role, but they seem to have found two in Jack Hindle and Kalyuch, who have both come in that transfer window, have done exceptionally well since they've come to the club, so something to build on for Peninsula Power going into next season.
Long-term striker for them, Sean Furagle, retiring a few years back. Andy Tangeli spent a few years at the club as well, one of a very renowned goal scorers here in Queensland. Kraev, Barbarousis towards the back post, headed on by Woolley, but still alive for the Phoenix. Kelly Heald. And it goes the way of Power. A foul against Oscar Zavada by the looks of things.
Yeah, I think the referee's claiming there was a little shove there as the ball came into the box from Zavada. It gives the foul away.
Have a look at the replay. It is just there. Oscar Zavada wrestling with Darcy Madden on the edge of the box. Zavada adjudged to have been the culprit.
Well, interesting, isn't it? When you're trying to get in the box there and the centre-back stopping you from getting in there, that you give the foul away trying to get round him. I'm always going to go for the attacker in that one, though, Campbell.
I can't say it surprises me, Scotty.
No, absolutely not.
Kelly Heald. Pennington brought down, was in a bit of strife and was lucky to draw the foul there from Brenton Fox coming in.
Yeah, the movement of the ball at the moment just seems to be slowing down from Wellington Phoenix. If you're Italiano on the sideline, you can see him gesturing with his hands right now. I think he wants that ball moved a lot quicker and to expand the pitch quicker as well.
Italiano, the new Wellington Phoenix head coach, former assistant at Ufuk Talay, former analyst as well. Bojidar Kraev cut out well that time by Valdemariam, who's everywhere tonight for Peninsula Power.
Yeah, look, we talked about him before the game. He's an exceptional talent for Peninsula Power. I said playing out of position, doing his defensive duties there, and he had to there because Kraev was just about to unleash one. It was a wonderful ball over the top from Barbarousis, and it just wouldn't sit for Kraev to go and have a volley. Valdemariam just nicked it off his toes.
Valdemariam, born on Thursday Island, part of the Torres Strait. Far, far, far North Queensland. As far as you can get. There's the ball in. Zavada rising. Darcy Madden getting above the pack that time. Punted out by Kane Gibbs. Altay. Was it Blacktown City when Giancarlo Italiano was the head of football there as a youngster? Kelly Heald, the 18-year-old. 18 on his back as well. Italiano's known Mohamed Altay since he was 14. And now bringing him along to the Wellington Phoenix. A nice bit of play here from his side.
Yeah, it was. Zavada obviously linking the play again. As they get a corner now once again. The fourth corner of the night, putting another bit of pressure on that Peninsula Power goal.
Van Hattem, the 21-year-old, standing over the corner. Just about 30 minutes gone here at AJ Kelly Park. The ball towards the near post, headed away by Brenton Fox. We'll get another bite of the cherry. Van Hattem falls to Pennington. Unable to forge an opportunity, but just restart things. Barbarouses this time on the left-hand side of the attack. Bit of physicality from Brenton Fox. Cut out by McHenry. Eldemariam just flicking it around the corner towards Jack Hindle. Not much doing for Power, however. Just more so clearing their lines. Rufer. Zavada. Really dropping in deep into that half space to win the ball. Josh Woolley does the same there. Does really well. Fox have options out wide in Greenwood making the overlap, but it's cut out well by Mohamed El Tay as he continues his run. Maintains possession despite the challenge from Gibbs. Zavada. Cryer brought down by McGowan, and the foul going the other way. Play on. Here's the call. Jack Hindle steaming down. Plajcic, the crowd lifted by the attack. Plajcic putting Tim Payne on his skates. No foul given there against the Wellington Phoenix, much to the furore of the home support.
Right call for me. I think
just looking for it, perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit. Look, he done wonderful with his skill, Kaljic there, but probably should have looked for the opening after he beat the first man. Try to go on back and beat him again.
This time they do get their foul.
Well, you look at that one and it sort of does look like a foul, but
you see in your bottom right-hand corner, Plajcic.
Yeah, there's arguments there could be. You know, I'd certainly want it, Campbell. Again,
I don't think any attacker will turn down that.
Absolutely not.
Now, Scotty, you coached the side, your Gold Coast Knights side in the round of 16 against Melbourne Victory a few years back. You did end up putting the boots on. We haven't seen you do that in a while.
Yeah, that was night nurse for me.
Paulson doesn't fully take control, but does fall on the loose ball. Is that your final game, Scotty?
Professionally, yeah. Has to be said, and the right call.
Your knees are thanking you, perhaps?
No, just obviously to do the right thing by the role I'm in, and you know, I've really enjoyed doing that now. But it was a wonderful occasion for everyone in terms of when we were in that draw. It was through COVID, and we didn't have a lot of players, so I had to put my name on the team sheet for the night. But to no avail. We didn't get the job done, but we took them to extra time, and it was a wonderful evening all round.
It was a superb evening at Croatian Sports Centre on the Gold Coast. Really pushed Melbourne Victory all the way, as Zavada with the volley this time. Just spooning it a little bit. Did look brilliant as it fell over. Was reminiscent of Tim Cahill in the 2014 World Cup. Not quite the connection, however.
Yeah, well, if he had got the connection and hit the target, we could be calling for probably goal of the Australia Cup already. I think he actually should probably... Could he take it down? McGowan's coming, you know, a bit too quick for him there, and he had to take it over his shoulder. And
the momentum as well, dragging you forward.
But another lovely ball over the top of McGowan, and they seem to be looking for that quite a lot now, Wellington Phoenix.
Not a cakewalk for the Wellington Phoenix. The Australia Cup, that's what it's all about. The combining of the football pyramids. Kelly Heald, able to win the header twice. Van Hattem. Eldemariam giving away the foul. Trying to get the play moving quickly. Paulson.
Oh, wonderful ball.
Really showing his prowess with his feet as a goalkeeper. So important in the modern day. Play we've seen throughout the world at any level. The goalkeeper being able to play with their feet, so crucial. Altay. Pennington. Kelly Hill unable to find an option in front. Alex Rufer sitting the deepest of the midfield. To Kelly Hill and Mo Altay, inverting a little bit at times. Similar, once again, to what we've seen in the Premier League this season has been very popular with those Kelly Hill, with centre-back, Mohamed Altay, a midfielder, both playing in full-back positions, but tucking in a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of think in terms of this game, though, it doesn't really suit the invert when you're playing against a diamond, because you're just walking onto numbers. I think where you really hurt the diamond is out in those wider areas when you've only got a full-back to go up against, and they've not really overloaded those areas too much. They've just let their wingers go up against full-backs, and it's probably something I would look at if I was Wellington Phoenix, to try and get Kelly Hill a little bit higher and invert Van Houten if they can, and like on the other side with Barbarouses and Altay as well.
Sam Sutton, a bit more of a marauding fullback on the bench, perhaps the option. Has played a good first half. Kelly Hill, however, hasn't put too many steps wrong. A good debut so far, and he's on the ball now. Driving forward. The tall defender. Kraev. Van Houten. The ball in now. Tricky for Lockie Hunter, but does end up going down his throat. Hasn't been asked to do too much today, Lockie Hunter.
No, if you're Aaron Philp and Peninsula Power right now, I'll be frustrated at times when you have some quality in the final third against Wellington Phoenix, but you'd be overall happy with the performance and the result as it is right now. The longer it goes, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how Wellington Phoenix cope with it being, obviously their first real competitive game also, and how the legs are going to tire throughout.
These NPL clubs as well do have the advantage of being mid-season. Match fitness couldn't be higher at this stage. Is getting towards the back end of the season, so perhaps legs are starting to tire. It does go out on the far side despite Kane Gibbs trying to keep it in play. Whereas on the other hand, these A-League clubs been in pre-season for about a month. But it's nothing like game minutes.
No, it's a really good time to get an A-League opponent, isn't it? If there's any chance that you're really going to look at, creating an upset, it's around about this period, isn't it?
A great ball. Long this time, it skids on a little bit. Tim Payne unable to find Costa Barbarouses, two experienced all-whites players.
Even now, Costas Barbarouses is such a threat, isn't he, with that in-behind run. Wonderful movement. He takes you short, drops a shoulder, and then all of a sudden he's in behind you. But this pitch is lively, isn't it? At AJ Kelly Park, it's ball's moving very, very quickly off the surface.
McHenry to take the throw in. Peninsula Power. Peninsula Power did play A-League opposition just last week, Brisbane Roar, in a friendly. They did lose 2-0, but we're overall happy with the performance and told they were trying out things that they wanted to implement tonight against an opposition which on paper has more pedigree. And as we know, anything can happen in the Cup, especially the round of 32. Wellington Phoenix not super successful in the competition historically. The last 2 years they've been good, making the quarterfinals and semi-finals, and have only advanced past this round 3 times in their history. McHenry. The Australia Cup, often a breeding ground or a tester for new coaches. We saw the first game of Dwight York's tenure played in Queensland last year. MacArthur Bulls taking on Mackay. Greenwood is blocked well. Zavada picking it up deep. Van Hattem. Will he play a big role for the Phoenix this year? Still time to recruit for the A-League season, and does go out of play despite Kelly Hield's best efforts.
Yeah, the game's just died in the last 5 minutes a little bit, hasn't it, Campbell, in terms of the quality that we're seeing, the chances. Just tired legs out there for both sides, you feel. Looking to get to half-time, I think pretty happy at 0-0 both parties.
Pace of the game slowing down. Walking football. McGowan. Ken Power snag one late in the first half. Can either side do so? They take great confidence out of it. Ball over the top from McGowan, looking for Klajcic. Can't find him. Paulson clearing his lines, but finding McHenry. Perhaps a little bit panicked in that moment there. And a foul given against McHenry.
Yeah, I think protest there from Peninsula Power. I think they've got a point a little bit. I think, as we'll see in the replay here, he's in a bit of bother. It's tight in there, and I think the ball's been won by McHenry there, and he's thrown himself to the floor, and the referees went for it.
It's a bit of hesitation initially. It was given. Perhaps a little bit soft. Kraev. McHenry. Phoenix win it back. Zavada lets it run. And no. Run being made on the far side by Barbarouses. A moment of confusion on the near touchline. Gibbs. Pennington. Kelly Hield getting plenty of joy on this left-hand side, but unable to really push forward.
Well, we spoke about it earlier there in terms of Wellington Phoenix fullbacks. They don't really bomb on, do they? They sort of stay behind the game, and you know, as much as they've had a lot of the ball, we've not seen them bomb on and trying to join the attack too much. Just from deeper, when Kelly Hill got that ball and had that shot earlier on in the match itself from outside the box.
Van Hattem and Barbarouses really providing the width. Kraev. Van Hattem, the youngster, striking. Bobbled by Hunter. Can it be finished by Pennington? The opener. The Wellington Phoenix take the lead right before the break. A goal mouth scramble, fumble by Lockie Hunter. And you can't do that against A-League opposition. Nick Pennington able to punish Peninsula Power right before the break.
Well, again, it's wonderful little bit of build-up play, isn't it? I think the ball goes into Kraev, is it? And there's Van Houten coming in, having a shot. You have to say it's a soft shot. You know, Lockie Hunter should do a lot better, you know, in taking that. But he palms it out, and Pennington absolutely pounces, takes it around the keeper, and there's absolutely no chance from there. It was always going to be 1-0, and it's a long way back now, I feel, for Peninsula Power to get back in this game.
Well, the mountain's always going to be tough to climb as an NPL side taking on A-League men's opposition. And it's even gotten harder after that. Wellington Phoenix now lead in the Australia Cup round of 32 against Peninsula Power. I mentioned just earlier, if either side can take the lead right before the break, how much of a tonic that'll be for them heading into the halftime sheds. McGowan, Zavada trying to get on the end of the ball. McGowan does well just to get a foot to it. Clear it out of danger. Woolley trying to evade the Wellington Phoenix players. Now emboldened by their 1-goal advantage. Peninsula Power, they have to throw everything at this now. Still another half to play. McHenry. Kane Gibbs takes the touch, volleys now. And it is cleared by the Phoenix. Zavada. Just him and Kraev completely outnumbered by white shirts. Barbarouses. Payne. Kelly Heald. Lovely bit of play. Keep the ball alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be a minimum of 1 minute.
Pennington, the goal scorer. Altay. Ball for Barbarouses. Looked tempting, Scott.
Again, it was a wonderful bit of movement for Barbarouses. Obviously, we've got the pleasure of seeing this live at the moment, and just how he sucks Greenwood towards the ball. And it is a wonderful ball by Altay, but just again, the pitch, just being as lively as it is, just took it through all the way to Lockie Hunter.
Power going long before the break. Finn Sermon heading it out for a Peninsula Power. Throw in 1 minute will be added on here at AJ Kelly Park. Woolley. And that is half-time. A little bit less than a minute here at AJ Kelly Park. Wellington Phoenix head into the break, leading Peninsula Power by a goal. It is Peninsula Power 0, Wellington Phoenix 1. Well, a massive first half here at AJ Kelly Park. Wellington Phoenix with the lead, but plenty of takeaways for both sides, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're Peninsula Power, the team talk completely changes after that. You know, you have to say a huge mistake from Lockie Hunter there, as we see, you know, I think it was Van Hutton having the strike from the edge of the box and Pennington picking up the scraps after the Lockie Hunter spill there. And yeah, hugely disappointing from a team that's worked ever so hard in that first half, and Peninsula Power sort of lacked an attacking attempt. We did say goals have been hard to come by for them this year. But, you know, for Wellington Phoenix, it's been a good half. You know, Italiano goes into halftime now a little bit more pleased and a little bit calmer with these troops, and just says now, I think, just keep the ball this second half and try and open the game up.
What could have been a panicked half-time chat. It was complete domination for the Wellington Phoenix in the first half. We look at the possession there, completely controlling that first stanza.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they controlled the game from start to finish in that first half. Yeah, there was, you know, little moments for Peninsula Power where they got into that final third, but didn't really make anything of those opportunities to get the ball in the box or have a shot at goal. You have to say Wellington Phoenix, though, controlled the game. They passed the ball through the lines really well, got the ball into Zawada, and Barbarouses has always been a threat. The ball's just been a little bit too heavy on a couple of occasions, but watch this space, because I think there's more of that to come in that second half.
Well, the first half of the Giancarlo Italiano era comes to an end. A big second stanza to come here at AJ Kelly Park. Peninsula Power with a massive mountain to climb as they host the Wellington Phoenix. Plenty more action to come in the second half, and it is right around the corner.
We've got a camera operating down near the grandstands. Also a canteen downstairs. We thank you for the support here on the Wellington Peninsula for the Australian Cup round of 32 match. Peninsula Power and Wellington Phoenix. First drawing a lucky number, the 50-50 draw. The winner was number 16. And the name here is Joe Parker. Number 16, Joe Parker. Congratulations, you won the 50-50 draw. Also like to take this opportunity to thank all our wonderful volunteers down here this evening, helping out in many areas to make tonight a very successful night. A big thank you to all our volunteers. Thank you very much for your attendance tonight, and hope you enjoy the night here at AJ Kelly Park. out onto the field, the Wellington Phoenix. Also welcome back the home side, Peninsula Power, as we go into the second half. The Australia Cup round of 32.
Welcome back to AJ Kelly Park for the Australia Cup round of 32, a tense first half. And Nick Pennington able to give Wellington the advantage right before the half-time break. Plenty of domination from Giancarlo Italiano's side in his first game at the helm. Campbell Johnson here in commentary alongside former Socceroo and Celtic legend Scott McDonald. Scott, key takeouts from the first half.
Well, I think Peninsula Power need to, when they get in that final third, try and create something, getting the ball in the wider areas, trying to get a few more crosses in. I think for Wellington Phoenix now, I think they'll go in at half-time and would have been happy with the first half performance. They controlled the game in the possession stats. They had quite a lot of shots at goal. They were a threat in behind throughout the night, just couldn't get that final end product. You know, I think if Peninsula Power stretch themselves, then they could get hurt. So it's all about staying in the game for Peninsula Power for as long as you can and seeing if you can try and just create that one opening and one chance to get an equaliser and then make it a difficult night for Phoenix.
And a big second stanza is underway here on the Peninsula in the Sunshine State. Peninsula Power with a massive mountain to climb if they want to get back into this game. That goal as well, Scott, for the Wellington Phoenix, a big pressure relief, I imagine, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Italiano's first game in charge at Wellington Phoenix, you could see a couple of occasions in the first half. He was a little bit frustrated in terms of the ball speed of his team. But overall, he'd have to be pleased. They played through the lines really, really well. The front three really connected. Kraev, Zawada, and Barbarouses was always a threat in behind. Van Hatten's been lively as well. So, you know, a lot of positives to take out that first half, but I think he would be looking for a little bit more ruthlessness in that final third.
It's a stage of the competition they haven't been particularly strong in. They've only made it past the round of 32, the Wellington Phoenix, on 3 occasions. Can they change that tonight? The last time they played here in Queensland in the Australia Cup was in 2019 against Brisbane Strikers. They did lose that one on penalties. Brisbane Strikers went on to reach the semi-finals, a famous run. Peninsula Power themselves made the quarterfinals last year. Played Northwest Sydney Spirit in the round of 32, beat them 4-1 before beating Green Gully and losing out to eventual finalists Sydney United, who are playing tonight against Broadmeadow Magic from Newcastle. And a really good crowd here at AJ Kelly Park tonight. This is Power's 3rd time playing A-League's opposition. Played Melbourne City in their first ever round of 32 appearance, then played the Brisbane Roar. And now the Wellington Phoenix. Woolley was looking for the exit, just played it off. The oncoming Wellington Phoenix player.
Again, another good opportunity for Wellington Phoenix there. Broke the ball up, won the ball off Fox in the middle of the pitch. Zavada gets it, 30 metres from goal and was wasteful with his through ball there for Van Hutten.
Long clearance from Hunter, the former Olympic FC shot stopper, former Brisbane Roar youth player as well. Plenty of those on the pitch tonight for Peninsula Power. Sermon keeping in play well. Hindle unable to regain control. Paulson able to clear it for the Phoenix. Peninsula Power can't play with any fear now. Down by a goal. They have to get one back. Malachi Love Samira was the man off the bench against Northwest Sydney Spirit. Bagged a brace. The only Power player to have scored 2 goals in the Australia Cup. National rounds. Wellington Phoenix shutting it down well there. Kane Gibbs winning it back for Power. McHenry takes a touch past Lucas Kelly, held. No foul given. McHenry did go down. Plenty of appeals from the Peninsula Power players and fans.
Well, that's certainly one I want to see back, Campbell. For all money there, it did look a foul. You know, the argument will be from the referee that he ran into him, but, you know, it's a clear foul for me, isn't it?
He's leaned his shoulder in there.
Absolutely.
Puzzling decision. Intriguing. As we play on. And AJ Kelly Parker was outside the box by the looks of things as well, so wouldn't have been a penalty for Peninsula Power. Hayden McHenry with the throw-in. Hindle. The ball lofted high, wide and behind from Valdemariam.
Yeah, and disappointing to put on the end of that as well. You know, that's the type of moments that you need to have a bit of quality in that final third if you to get anything out of this game as Peninsula Power, because those chances are few and far between.
McGowan just happy to clear it away. It does so into the path. Lucas Kelly healed. It's really about field position as well for Peninsula Power at this stage. We saw in the first half, really unable to play through Wellington Phoenix and create any clear-cut opportunities. So when you have an opportunity or the ball in a great area, have to capitalise. Darcy Madden fouling Oscar Zavada on that occasion.
Yeah, they're never nice then for a centre forward when the centre half just trods on your Achilles there.
Hindle, the Englishman, feeding through. Kalajdzic now. And he's dealt with well by the Wellington Phoenix defence. Big opportunity for Alex Paulson. As we have another look back at the play here. A good ball through by Jack Hindle and Kalajdzic. Sandwiched by two Wellington Phoenix players. Sermon heading down. Kraev. Altay. Turns back inside. Sermon. Kelly healed. Looking for Božidar Kraev, who was offside, as it were. Big experience on the bench for the Wellington Phoenix as well. Scott Wootton, former Manchester United defender. You wonder if he'll get a run today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the course of this pre-season with Wellington Phoenix, with him being on the bench, whether or not he's one that they actually want at the football club, because with your foreigners, your visas, you'd usually see them out there, wouldn't you, in an important game like this. But, you know, as it is, he's on the bench. And like you said, it'll be interesting to see if he does play any part.
Kalajdzic manages to pick up the ball in the box now. Solomon Valdemariam. Kane Gibbs striking low, parried away that time by Paulson and going down. Was Kalajdzic on the far side. And it will be a corner for Peninsula Power. Now an opportunity.
Well, that was a lot better from Peninsula Power there. Kalajdzic getting onto the loose one. Kane Gibbs trying to curl one in that bottom left-hand corner there. But Paulson up to the challenge there. And you have to say, he gets a good palm to it, doesn't he? Gets it out of the danger area. And Wellington Phoenix are able to scoop it out there before Kalajdzic can get on the rebound.
And the ball towards the near post. Josh Woolley did score an Olympico last season. Woolley, in fact, it was Fox trying to volley it back in. Greenwood out wide for Woolley. This is nice play. McHenry trying to get around. Lucas Kelly healed. Valdemariam. Good field position for Peninsula Power. But they have to take advantage. McHenry. Too heavy on the pass through for Jack Hindle.
Again, a little bit of a disappointment there for Peninsula Power. McHenry, though, you would have to think that they had words at half-time and trying to get McHenry a little bit higher up that football pitch. He was a little bit tame in getting forward in that first half, but Peninsula Power, they need to get bodies forward, and it's good to see him getting a little bit more forward, causing a bit more problems for this Wellington Phoenix side.
Power able to regain possession. It was a deft touch from Lewis Greenwood. We haven't seen Power have too many opportunities from free kicks or dead balls so far. Hindle, is this the opportunity for Power? Hindle still. Pelagic going down. And it will be play on, says Shane Skinner. Barbarousis. Well won by Valdemariam. Power really starting to gain some confidence here.
Yeah, they are. They're starting to play through the lines. There was too many long balls in that first half. They're actually, playing in between that diamond now and then, getting the ball into their strikers. And again, the ball just wouldn't sit nicely for Hindle there to try and get a shot away. And Wellington Phoenix were able to scrap it out once again. But they're getting deeper, Wellington Phoenix. They're not getting out as easy as they were in the first half.
Power lumping on the pressure. And the crowd now starting to rise with them. What an advantage that is. Richard Arcrea putting it out for a throw-in. Only takes one moment of magic. Josh Woolley had one last Australia Cup campaign. Madden. Phoenix now pressing higher. Lachlan Hunter in a bit of bother. Well left by Woolley. It will be a corner for the Wellington Phoenix. A little bit of a scary moment there for Lachie Hunter, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a bit unsure what he wanted to do with this ball here. He was looking for an outlet, but there was none coming, and then all of a sudden almost got himself into trouble there.
That touch, so dangerous. He does get away with it, however. And such a good crowd here at Peninsula Power on a Friday night. Cup football, what more do you want? Fifth corner of the game for the Wellington Phoenix. Van Hattem signalling to the players in the box. Perhaps a training ground move underway here. Shane Skinner halts proceedings. Van Hattem towards the back post now. And an obscure touch from the goal scorer, Nick Pennington, allowing Peninsula Power to counter Sermon. Kane Gibbs applying the pressure for Power. And I think it's fair to say that was quite a curious touch from Nick Pennington on the edge of the box. A handball there from Kane Gibbs. He's eventually called up.
Yeah, the referee seen that there, just popped up on him, didn't it? That little ball around the corner for Valdemariam.
So we have another look back. Nick Pennington, perhaps not where he wanted it. Maybe he's run a little bit too early.
Yeah, it was another audacious attempt, wasn't it? It probably would have been better off just trying to head it back into the area and look for a second phase.
Kelly Heald. Two substitutions getting warm for the Wellington Phoenix. It will be Scott Wootton coming onto the pitch. We mentioned him just earlier. The Manchester United defender, Mohamed Al-Tay, making way. And as well, Sam Sutton coming on. Two experienced heads on the bench for the Wellington Phoenix. Now coming on, Lucas Kelly Heald ends his debut. Mentioned it in the first half as a substitution that could potentially be made. Looks like Tim Payne will now push out to that right back position. Sam Sutton, a bit more dynamism perhaps and experience from that left-hand side, Scott.
Yeah, he likes to get forward, as we know. He likes to attack, so it's an interesting one always, though, when you change your back four midway through a game. You're only 1-0 up. How does it work for you? We'll soon find out, won't we? With Watton coming on, is he going to be warm enough to actually get around that football pitch straight away?
Scott Wootton, such an experienced player, over 200 games in the English Football League. Made his Manchester United senior debut in Gary Neville's testimonial game back in 2011. Replaced Gary Neville himself in the 85th minute. And Greenwood driving for power. Fox. McHenry delivering towards Klajic, and no trouble for Alex Paulson.
Again, a great area for McHenry to deliver something of quality, and just lacked that final delivery, didn't it, to put them under pressure. Very, very comfortable in the end for Paulson to go and collect.
Paulson in a spot of bother there, but does get away with it just. Jack Hindle putting on the pressure, as are all the power players now, hunting for that equaliser. Tim Payne. Rufer. Born in Geneva, Switzerland, as it were. Great ball from Oscar Zavada, but the offside flag goes up on Oscar Van Hatten. Blazes it over the bar regardless. To be a tight one there.
Yeah, it's another good ball from Zavada there. Another good run from Van Hatten. And like you said there, Campbell, it'd be interesting to see on the replay here how tight that actually really was. Yeah, it looked tight.
Thought Darcy Madden, wearing number 24, might have kept him on there. And the decision not going that way, however. And Oscar Zavada playing a very interesting role. Was listed alongside Božidar Krajev as an attacking midfielder for today. Typically an out-and-out number 9, Oscar Zavada, but has been dropping deeper to link up play quite often in this game. As we see him now go past the halfway mark. The wingers often the highest for the Wellington Phoenix as they look to counter here. Payne. Barbarouses. Still going, Barbarouses. Tries to feed it through. Now an opportunity for power. Brenton Fox trying to break away. Does go down. The foul given away by the substitute, Sam Sutton, who does have a heavily taped left knee and has battled with injuries over the years. And we have a look back at the foul, the collision between Fox and Sam Sutton. Veldemariam. Greenwood. Gibbs turns inside. Fox. Touch lets him down. Really good work here from Van Hatten to turn, create an opportunity. Pennington evading. Jack Hindle. Sermon. Sutton. A real versatile option for the Wellington Phoenix is Sam Sutton. Has played in midfield plenty of times. Ball over the top for Barbarouses. Has held up well for him. Božidar Krajev winding up from the edge of the box, but doesn't force a save out of Lockie Hunter.
Yeah, it's an excellent bit of play there. Payne over the top for Barbarouses again. If you look at the movement here from out to in from Barbarouses. Gets to this one though, doesn't go out of play. Lay off a bit heavy, probably for a first time shot, but not too far away from Krajev.
It's a lovely lob, a nice 60-degree from Tim Payne over the back of the Peninsula Power defence there. Held up brilliantly with that backspin. Sam Sutton clearing and thwarting the Peninsula Power attack. You see the expected goal stats there. Peninsula Power just 0.17. Can they up that now? Fox dancing as he's marked by Sermon. First time ball towards the edge of the box, not to any particular target from Kane Gibbs. And it does give the opportunity for Wellington to go the other way. Sutton driving forward. More dynamic fullback option than Kelly Heald, who is a centre half by trade. Profiles more that way. This is lovely play from Power. The opportunity for Greenwood. Hindle. Does well here. Trying to make some room for himself. Valdemariam gets around one. Tees it up. Kane Gibbs with the first time strike. And goes wide of the target.
Well, you have to say it was some really, really good build-up play there from Peninsula Power, wasn't it? As we see, there's going to be a change for Peninsula Power, it looks.
Sam Cronin coming on for Peninsula Power. Their joint top scorer this season, Kane Gibbs, making way, the former Brisbane Raw youth player. Sam Cronin, such an experienced head, was great in the Cup for them last year.
He looks like he's going to fill that number 10 role. And Fox will go to the right side of the diamond.
Plenty of experience in Sam Cronin. Scored big goals for Power and gives away the foul there. Kraev. Pennington. Wooden. Peninsula Power pressing well. Putting the Wellington Phoenix defence under plenty of pressure. Barbarousis, a great first touch. Putting it towards the box there, but Lockie Hunter doing enough at his near post.
There was some wonderful football there just played, wasn't there? Some one-touch play in the middle of the pitch. Zavada getting the ball into Zavada there. Pennington playing a 1-2 with him. And then a lovely ball over the top for Barbarousis with a wonderful first touch as well. Just got a little bit too far away in the end, though, on this pitch again for him to get any sort of quality crossing. But they get a corner from it.
Does really well to get that cross away. Van Hattem towards the near post. Teed up by Rufa and cleared by Hindle. Barbarousis with a great first touch to keep it alive for the Phoenix. Van Hattem, physical from Hindle here, holding off the youngster. Experienced Englishman. Just doing enough there. Not giving away the foul either. Kraev. And over the years, Wellington Phoenix have made a habit of really getting their visa signings right. We've seen it constantly. Zavada and Bojidar Kraev, examples of them.
Yeah, and one we haven't mentioned is Ball, who's out injured as well at the moment, who's been at Wellington for, you know, a good 3-4 seasons, done an exceptional job as well. So lots of positives to come for Italiano and Phoenix.
Gary Hooper before that as well was fantastic. The list goes on. Paul Eiffel, a real legend of the club. Now really struggling to exit here. They do so in the end. Sutton. Pennington. Woolley. Valdemariam has had a fantastic game so far. Driving forward. Cronin. Jack Hindle dispossessed. Bojidar Kraev looking for options. Sam Sutton, brilliant. Finding Alex Rufa. Kraev picking the ball up in a good area. Now Van Hattem driving forward, and Lockie Hunter. Not sure if there's some Vaseline or some margarine on the ball, but has been struggling to hang on to it tonight. Does control it in the end, however.
This is all fine and well for Peninsula Power playing in their own final third, but they've got 4 bodies behind the ball right now. No pressure from Wellington Phoenix. They need to get more bodies ahead of the game.
Sermon heading away for the Phoenix. Klajcic winning the ball back well, physical from Pennington, and does give away the foul in the end despite Oberon Klajcic getting the shot away. There's not the most controlled build-up play from Peninsula Power, but
it's the right call, I think, from the referee. I think he's just about to line one up, and Pennington sort of pulls him back and sort of refrains him from doing so, and then he finally gets his shot away, but not enough power on it to worry Paulson, and misses the target. But an opportunity here for Woolley, you would imagine.
We highlighted that before the game, that left foot perhaps towards that top right-hand corner here. Dead balls can be so important in these cup games. Josh Woolley and Lewis Greenwood standing over it. Greenwood taking off the wall, and it is cleared.
It was always going to be Greenwood that took it, wasn't it? After he built that up.
As soon as you say, yeah, get the crystal ball out, going to be Josh Woolley. I think Lewis Greenwood heard us, despite being a good 50 metres away. Woolley. Klajcic, a great turn. Klajcic driving, still going Klajcic, but it is blocked. Fox, Cronin. Towards Lewis Greenwood, takes a touch, gets the shot away! And Lewis Greenwood gets everyone at AJ Kelly Park off their feet. Power are back in the 70th minute, and would you believe it? Lewis Greenwood, the hero.
Well, game on, Campbell. Power have slowly got themselves back into it. And you have to say, wonderful ball from Woolley into Kaljic that gets on the half turn. And they have a little bit and they get it out wide. And you have to say, it's a wonderful finish from Greenwood to get it out of his feet and just toe poke that into that far left-hand corner. He tries to take his first touch past Payne, but his second one's a wonderful one. Nice little toe bash into that far left-hand corner. And it's game on now.
Composure personified by Lewis Greenwood, and a change being made by the Wellington Phoenix. Caelan Nguyen coming on. Oscar Van Hattem ending his day, and it's a debut for Caelan Nguyen for the Wellington Phoenix. Peninsula Power 1, Wellington Phoenix 1, and it is game on here at AJ Kelly Park. Nguyen, his first touches as a Wellington Phoenix first team player, and he does win the corner there.
Yeah, well, good response from Wellington Phoenix straight away, isn't it? They sort of went a little bit quiet there and allowed Power back into this game, haven't they? You know, coming off the game, 11 men behind the ball, and Power getting that opportunity. And you have to say, wonderful finish from Greenwood there. It's all for Wellington Phoenix to do now.
Well, they did have to go to penalties against the Brisbane Strikers in Queensland in 2019. The ball towards the near post, cleared by McGowan, still not fully by Power. Can they go the other way? That first touch by Josh Woolley. And Phoenix potentially on the ropes here. 3 forward for Power. Can they go bang bang? Veldemariam bearing down on goal, and it is blocked by Finn Sermon. And that goal by Lewis Greenwood, the perfect tonic for Aaron Phillips' side.
Oh, another wonderful opportunity there for Peninsula Power. They break really well, don't they, after defending their goal from that corner really, really well. McGowan getting the clearance. Didn't know too much about the first one, but got the second one to safety, and then they broke. And Veldemarian, who, like we talked about in the build-up, has been excellent for Peninsula Power this season. And you would have put your money on him to at least work Paulson, but a really, really good block from Wellington Phoenix in the end, whose shape just looks a little bit all over the place since they made a couple of changes.
Panic stations for the Wellington Phoenix. Do we have a cup set brewing here in the Sunshine State? We've seen it before. Will we see it again? Barbarouses unable to beat the goal scorer, Lewis Greenwood. Nick Pennington, another goal scorer, going to ground. Scott Wooten with the throw-in. Tim Payne just being marched back by Shane Skinner. Pennington towards Kraev. This is when you need the big players to show up if you're the Wellington Phoenix. And this is where you need to dig deep. If you're Peninsula Power, Tim Payne goes down. Lewis Greenwood giving away the foul and sees yellow for his efforts. And it is well won by Tim Payne, that advanced touch. Assisting him there.
Well, Greenwood doesn't seem to be too pleased with the outcome of that one. He feels he didn't get any touch whatsoever on Payne. If he does get a touch on him now, I think it's a really, really good foul, because Payne's in a wonderful area there to drive inside the box and create something for Wellington Phoenix there. They get another opportunity, though, to put one again into that Peninsula Power box.
Tim Payne standing over it. Two-man wall. Brenton Fox, Lewis Greenwood. A golden opportunity for Wellington Phoenix. Lachlan Hunter dropping it again, but does manage to hold on after all. Just a little bit nervy, does Lockie Hunter. At the moment, it's a good ball in behind. Jack Hindle was onside when it was sent forward. Sutton battling the Peninsula Power players to hang on to possession, and does so. Sermon back for Paulson, lifting it forward.
Great pressure there from Peninsula Power. Again, we talked about those inverted fullbacks for Wellington Phoenix not really suiting the game because of the diamond of Peninsula Power. That was a perfect example there. Payne inverting, not really giving an outlet for Paulson there. If he had to pull wide onto the byline, it's an easy little clip for him.
And a change being made for Peninsula Power. Well, he was the game changer in the round of 32 last.
Substitution for Peninsula Power.
Yeah. Malachi loves Samira. Brenton Fox making way.
Malachi loves Samira.
And can he be the difference this year? Scored 2 goals off the bench against Northwest Sydney Spirit. Such a talented player in the setup. The pathway for the Fiji national team as well. Is this his moment? Woolley trying to play it forward. Hindle. Did he come from an offside position? The flag stays down, and Phoenix look to advance. McGowan back for Hunter. No pressure being put on by Wellington Phoenix. Woolley really dropping deep to dictate play. Cronin. Madden. Cronin looking for the ball forward for Malachi Love Samira. Doesn't manage to do so. Payne. Scott Wooten, the Englishman, going to find the pass. Rufer. Wooten. Zavada lays it off brilliantly for Pennington. Kraev. Zavada making his way back into the box. Newen, the debutant, getting the ball towards Zavada. Barbarouses managing to connect. but dragging it wide.
Wonderful bit of play from Wellington Phoenix there, and again Zavada in the build-up. Wonderful first-time layoff, gets himself in the box. It's a great delivery, you have to say, and Barbarouses makes wonderful contact, just doesn't hit the target. Anything on target, you have to say, is probably a goal, but the threat's there for Phoenix down that left-hand side.
Could have been an unbelievable goal for Costa Barbarouses. So much experience. And scored plenty of cup goals as well for the Wellington Phoenix. Love Samira facing up Tim Payne. Unable to get past him, however. Veldemariam, Hindle, the edge of the box now, too hot that time for Sam Cronin. At an awkward height for the midfielder. Sutton. Pennington just steadying the ship. And just over 10 minutes to play. Could we be heading to stoppage time? I should say extra time, in fact. We've seen it in the past with the Wellington Phoenix in Queensland in the Australia Cup. Veldemariam. Greenwood, the goal scorer, not letting up. He does draw the foul of Costa Barbarouses.
Again, Greenwood does really, really well there in a tight situation to get himself out of trouble and get his team a foul.
McHenry giving away the foul this time. Potentially one back there. At least the Peninsula Power faithful think so. Payne.
Again, watching this, I'm really struggling to understand what Taglione is trying to do with these inverted fullbacks. When you can really stretch the game, get your fullbacks down the side and try and get that 2v1 situation against Peninsula Power's fullbacks when they have the diamond that's so narrow at the moment. We can clearly see it, but you see the likes of Payne and Sutton, they're just coming in these inside roles and just more or less walking onto the likes of Cronin and Veldemariam at the moment. It's absolutely suiting Peninsula Power down to a T.
Here's Woolley. Pass through the middle. Really dictating play from the base. McGowan.
Again, we see Wellington Phoenix just stepping off the game. You know, it's 1-1 at the moment. The game you want to go and win, you're playing against an NPL opposition. You would think, go and press the ball. Go and put them under pressure. A team that should be tired. You've moved the ball around for now 80 minutes.
Ball over the top. Malachi loves Samira trying to keep it in play. There's a little bit of contact from Scott Wooten. And the fans aren't happy with it, but it will be a Wellington Phoenix throw-in. Tim Payne to take. Wooden. Under pressure. Veldemariam picks it up well. Veldemariam along the byline now. Veldemariam. A great ball. This time from Kalajdzic. Gets a touch on the way through. It is blocked by the Wellington Phoenix. But Peninsula Power really with all the momentum now.
Yeah, absolutely. They do well in that little corner on the left-hand side. Kaljic gets the ball on the edge of the box, and if that had been on his left foot, it could have been a different story. You know, young Kaljic, left-footed, doesn't mind hitting on his right foot, but in the end, Wellington Phoenix defenders get a little nick on the way in, and it helps Paulson collect it nice and comfortably.
If you heard the bang, with fireworks in the distance here in Redcliffe. Well, they're not quite celebrating yet. Peninsula Power fans, maybe in the next 10 minutes, or if they have to send it to extra time, could we see a cup set?
Well, we did ask questions, didn't we, early in that first half? The longer it went and the more Peninsula Power can stay in this game, how do the legs of Wellington Phoenix cope with this? Even more so if it goes to that extra time.
And the nerves of a first game under a new head coach. Pennington trying to drive forward, loses out to Valdemariam and Hindle. Love Samira racing up against Wooten. Great ball for Greenwood, brought down by Tim Payne. Did manage to win the ball, however. Power really asking questions on the break.
It's brilliant from Greenwood, isn't it? You know, in the 84th minute, still getting up and down the field with all that energy that he's already output within the game. It's been a tough game for Peninsula Power. They've worked ever so hard in this game, in this contest so far.
Lewis Greenwood's been such a good player for Peninsula Power for so long now. Still in his early 20s, however. Kraev makes some room for himself. Bojidar, Kraev, Oscar Zavada into the waiting arms of Lockie Hunter. Phoenix create a chance, but it's not enough.
Yeah, as we can see, it looks a little bit like he's cramping up there, doesn't he, Zavada? But Kraev just getting a little bit of room there on the edge of the Peninsula Power box. I think the chat's there between the players there to Madden is, can you get a little bit tighter? I know you're getting tired, and he's gone down actually with cramp. As we see Zavada, the ball's going to go out of play.
Such an experienced player and was so good last season, but these early minutes of pre-season wreaking havoc. Every player out there will take this time to take in some fluids and reset, re-energize. The Phoenix's first game, first competitive game of their pre-season, and it looks just to be cramp here for Oscar Zavada. Was so good in his debut campaign with the Wellington Phoenix, their player of the season, scoring 15 goals. Got the record as well in the A-League men's for goal contributions in consecutive games. It was 11 games in a row, and he got a goal contribution.
Yeah, he's certainly a top-class player, isn't he? We've seen that with some of his touches and his movement tonight, the way he's held the ball up for his team. But just watching this Wellington Phoenix side and where they're actually asking him to play at the moment, in that, like you talked about earlier, Campbell, in that deeper role, coming off the game, linking the game. You can see he's a little bit fatigued there, and when he does lay that ball off, he's still got a good 40 meters to get into that box. Once the ball goes wide, he's coming from a deeper area to burst into that box. It's not exactly easy.
Will take some getting used to as well. Here's the first goal. Oscar Van Houten striking, and Nick Pennington able to open the scoring. Peninsula Power able to get things back though, and really making things interesting here at AJ Kelly Park, Scott.
Yeah, you have to say, look, the goal that Wellington Phoenix scored, they haven't had too many opportunities like that since then, have they, to have pops at goal and test Lockie Hunter. The one that they did, obviously Pennington pouncing, but Louis Greenwood's finish was just absolutely sublime, wasn't it? To react as well as he did after the first touch, to have the instinct to poke his left foot at the ball, and just happened all too quickly for Poulsen to react, and it ended up in that left-hand corner to make it 1-1.
And that is the end of Oscar Zavada's day. Was so good last season in the A-League men's, unable to make too much of an impact here today. Played a fantastic game, unable to get on the score sheet, however. And another debut, Josh Rudland coming on, another academy player for the Wellington Phoenix. And it'll be a plus for Peninsula Power, despite being fresh legs for Wellington Phoenix, unproven and inexperienced, I should say, in Josh Rudland, but a point to prove nonetheless, especially with the new coach, Newen. Great challenge from Josh Woolley and able to maintain possession. Cronin, first time ball. Hindle just trying to get something on it, and Alex Poulsen will take it gladly. Pennington. Zavada, I should say Kraev, in fact getting plenty of attention from Mike McGowan, the Scotsman. Great challenge to Cut things out there by McHenry. You can see how desperately they're playing now, the Peninsula Power players. They can smell a result. That goal by Lewis Greenwood completely changing things in this fixture, in this matchup. Paulson under pressure from Love Samira. Such a dynamic player. Woolley. Hindle. Forward for Klajcic, edge of the box. Shut down by Pennington, but maintains possession. McHenry. Lewis Greenwood making the run forward on the left-hand side from the fullback position. Will be keen to get amongst the action. I'm sure he's got a taste for goal. And we'll want more, no doubt. Darcy Madden lifting it forward. Lewis Greenwood, the working in pest control by day. Love Samira. Veldemariam. Greenwood. Options in the box for him. Cronin gets the 1-2. Greenwood. Cut out by Tim Payne. Barbarousis. Looking to go the other way. It's one back by Cronin. Love Samira. Teeing it up for McHenry. Cronin for power. He's blocked and Love Samira with an extraordinary strike, but just going over the target, going over the bar, and Peninsula Power are playing with a pomp at the moment as we head into stoppage time.
Well, they really are, aren't they? They look at the pressure of the two parties at the moment, that's here at the moment. That you just thought for a slight second there, Love Samira's name was going to be up in headlights again, like last season at this round of 32 stage.
Wouldn't that be a story? Wouldn't that be a narrative for the youngster? He's playing alongside one of his high school teammates, Solomon Veldemariam. And there will be 4 minutes added on here at AJ Kelly Park. I'm sure both sides would probably like a winner at this point with how tired the players are looking. But we may be headed to extra time. Not if these players have anything to say about it in these final 4 minutes. Payne with the throw-in. Pennington. Paulson under pressure, as is Sermon. Rufer is cut out by Josh Woolley once more. Woolley. Hindle playing in a deeper role than he started in. Veldemariam, a great move. Cronin gets a touch to it, but can't control. Payne driving out of defence. Barbarousis flicking it around the corner, but to no one in particular. Veldemariam driving, still going in the 93rd minute. Energy aplenty. He's looking a little bit tired, however. Greenwood, a great ball. And Paulson equal to it.
He's been very impressive tonight for me, Paulson, particularly with his feet, but when asked upon, he's come and collected really, really well. Don't think he could have done too much for the goal itself, but a bright future ahead, I think, and we'll see lots more of him in the A-League to come, I think, this season.
It's a big question ahead of the upcoming season. Previous campaigns, Ollie Sale was undeniably the #1. There's Rutland striking, a big contact there from McGowan, and does give away the foul in a dangerous area, it must be said.
Yeah, it's a clumsy one, isn't it? It's a desperate one in the 93rd minute. The argument there is to say that the ball's gone and hit the corner flag, but it's a really, really late challenge, you have to say, from McGowan, and gives Wellington Phoenix one last chance, you'd have to say, before the full-time whistle goes here.
We have a look back at the challenge, really coming across. Josh Rudland there. Tim Payne eyeing up the free kick. Barbarousis as well. Josh Woolley playing the mind games for Peninsula Power. Loves the chirp, does the Englishman. A 6-player wall for Power at the moment. In fact, it will be for Lockie Hunter.
It's an interesting one from the Wellington Phoenix players, isn't it? Because the ball goes in the net, it's offside. They're in an offside position. I'm not
influencing play.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what.
We don't have the automated assistance of the
I'm not too
Women's
sure.
World Cup.
Unless they're going to move before it's taken.
Payne. The Phoenix players charge. Payne striking off the head of Darcy Madden. Heads straight to ground. Have to be a little bit worse for wear after that one, but a second opportunity. Graham chesting it down, and he is in an offside position. And Josh Woolley with plenty to say after the fact. Not entirely sure what he's angry about. Perhaps that Darcy Madden should be looked at for a concussion test here potentially, as we have a look back. Straight into the head there. When they go down like that, it never looks great.
No, it never does. You know, particularly in this day and age, where there is a real big thought in terms of head injuries and how serious they are. He caught that really, really flush as well, didn't he? You know, Tim Payne caught that really well. You could see Tim Payne's reaction when it did catch a head of Madden. It looked to be on its way.
Straight out of the middle as we head past the stoppage time. The whistle could be blown at any moment, but an opportunity perhaps for Power. Rudland, McGowan able to head it away. Hindle, touch lets him down. Nguyen, a chance for the Phoenix. The debutant, marked by 3 Power players. Kraev, Pennington, Rufer, the captain. Payne. Greenwood does well. Sticks to him. And that will be good time, but we're heading to extra time here in the round of 32 of the Australia Cup. Peninsula Power snagging a goal back to send it into extra time. We've seen it from the Wellington Phoenix in the past in 2019. In Queensland, they did the same when playing Brisbane Strikers at the end of regulation time. It is Peninsula Power 1, Wellington Phoenix 1. More to come. Scott McDonald, a massive bit of extra time here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Giancarlo Italiano has to rally his troops in terms of that second half performance. Looked very, very leggy, and you have to say, well, you know, Peninsula Power well deserved, you know, their equaliser in the end.
This was the one to open it up. Nick Pennington able to follow up the rebound. Lockie Hunter just not hanging on to it. Now things could have been different if he had, but they're still in it. They're still within a puncher's chance. Scott, we saw your Gold Coast Knights send Melbourne Victory to extra time last year. Can we see the same, or what? How do you approach this as a coach?
Well, I think the benefit to Peninsula Power to what we had was we weren't in season at that moment, whereas Peninsula Power are. And we talked about it during the game. I've talked about it on a couple of occasions now in terms of Wellington Phoenix not playing any competitive football before this match itself. You know, Peninsula Power well into their season here and looked the fitter, looked the more livelier come the end of that full 90 minutes there. And Peninsula and Wellington Phoenix were just slowly kept getting deeper and deeper. Obviously they'll have these couple of minutes now to get fresher again, maybe change a few things. But if you're Peninsula Power, it's keep doing the same thing, get your fullbacks a little bit higher. That's what they did really, really well in the second half, you have to say. McHenry and Greenwood actually joining in the attacks. They're a little bit more reserved in that first half, you have to say, and I think that probably that was a conversation at half-time we've got to go for it a little bit more here, boys. We've got to get used a little bit higher and wider and see if we can create some things. Kaljic has done exceptional, getting on the ball, coming on the, in the half-turn. Valdemarian's looked very lively, but player of the match for me has been Woolley. He's controlled everything for them in that deeper role, one that he's not too familiar with, but he's led right from the front, hasn't he, and controlled the game for them, particularly in that second half.
And if you're the Wellington Phoenix, you've been in this situation before. On paper, you're the team with more pedigree, but it's your first game under a new coach, your first competitive game of the season. That nervousness, that fear of embarrassment potentially really playing a part here, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one that you want to lose, is it? But you make certain changes at crucial times to your team as well. Bringing on Watton, and changing your back four. I don't think that was really, really wise and a little bit disrespectful to Peninsula Power in that sense, thinking that the job was almost but done. It wasn't. They're back in here now 1-1. Savada's off the pitch. They're a younger looking side with inexperience, and if you're Peninsula Power, you get buoyed by that. You feel a little bit more confident with some of these younger inexperienced players coming on for the likes of Wellington Phoenix. They just need to be careful, obviously not creating too many bodies forward now. Peninsula Power at the one go. Take their time in this. The longer it goes, they will get another opportunity, but they just have to be careful, particularly with the pace of Barbarouses who's still a massive threat.
Just saw the stats for Josh Woolley there as well from Peninsula Power. Playing at the base of midfield, 89 touches, and has really been the metronome for them in today's game. Can he carry them to glory today? Well, the stadium here at AJ Kelly Park is lively, buzzing and excited for extra time. They haven't beaten A-League opposition in the Australia Cup before. Is tonight the night as we get underway in extra time? The score is Peninsula Power 1, Wellington Phoenix 1, all to play for in the round of 32. Campbell Johnson here in commentary alongside former Socceroo and Celtic legend Scott McDonald for a massive extra time period. Sermon.
Again, as we can see in the pictures here, the two inverted fullbacks, but you're in a great area for just go and get pressed like that. I'm not understanding what it's actually doing. They're neither fully inverted or fully wide. They're in those half little pockets and they're just walking onto the diamond of Peninsula Power. And as we see, Valdemarian's within 5 yards to be able to go and press him and cause him issues like that. For me, he should be hitting the touch line or he should be coming all the way in, so you create that line to go straight into your winger.
Do you think perhaps, Scott, that it's less about the game state of this fixture and more about how Wellington want to play throughout the Isuzu A-League men's season?
Well, it looks that way, but you can't have just one plan, Campbell. If the game's showing you something, go and change it. You've got to go and see those things as a coach, and you've got to go and try and win the game. At the end of the day, the game is all about winning football matches and trying to create the moments you possibly can within them. You're going to come up against different types of situations and formations within the A-League competition, so you've got to come up with plan B, not just plan A.
Newen. McHenry does well, draws the foul as well. Of course, coach Giancarlo Italiano, an analyst by trade as well. Whether they've seen how Peninsula Power want to play their fullbacks, notorious for bombing on, being great in attacking areas. Hayden McHenry, Lewis Greenwood, he's the difference maker today.
Well, again, you talk about those two, what they've managed to do, and what's really caused Wellington Phoenix bigger problems is the likes of the wingers for Wellington Phoenix have had to go back the pitch now, because the fullbacks are now getting, further forward, which is not allowing an outlet for Wellington Phoenix to get up the football pitch.
Perhaps losing that width they're planning to play with those wingers. McGowan was part of that 2019 Brisbane Strikers side that did defeat the Wellington Phoenix in the round of 32 on penalties. We've seen him do it before. Will it happen again? Hindle, is this the opportunity for power? Samira tees it up. Cronin managing to do enough. McHenry busting a lung to keep it in play. Pass from Madden, unable to find Samira. Sutton storming forward, but that man Josh Woolley managing to disrupt play. And I tell you what, it's a nervy bench on the far side. Peninsula Power players all up on their feet. They know how much it means. This is what the players play for. These big moments, these big games. It's the magic of the cup, and it's alive tonight. Barbarouses. Pennington, outside of the boot. A little bit hard to handle for Sutton, but does well in the end. Nguyen, won by McHenry, winning that battle so far since Nguyen's come onto the pitch. Payne. Well, won by Josh Woolley, really taking the game by the scruff of the neck. It's a foot race between Sermon and Samira. It does go out for a throw-in.
Again, Woolley winning another duel. You'd like to see in the stats how many duels he's actually won tonight. He's been tremendous in that deep-lying midfield role for his team and breaking up the play and then setting attacks for them.
Once again, proving his versatility as a player and value to the club. Payne looking to lift it forward for Barbarouses. Greenwood doing well, and panic for McGowan, but does get the goal kick out of it. Peninsula Power playing with that confidence. Madden. He's gone far in the competition before with Wollongong Wolves. And now making the journey up north. Peninsula Power. A great signing in the most recent off-season. A handball there by the Wellington Phoenix. Numbers on the far side for Peninsula Power. Lewis Greenwood. Plenty of space in behind. Tim Payne as well. Greenwood does very well. Rudland tracking back to Mark Greenwood. Samira. Now Cronin. Veldemarian was playing the ball in fact. The Wellington Phoenix able to deal with the pressure momentarily. McHenry here, there and everywhere for Peninsula Power at the moment. Rufer. Payne. Barbarouses making the run in behind. Well dealt with by the experienced Scottish centre-half. That's lovely from Veldemarian. Greenwood now driving forward, brought down, and the foul is drawn.
Again, wonderful play from Greenwood. The energy still showing, you know, in this time of the football match. And you have to say that the biggest key to Peninsula Power's success in that second half, and now we're seeing in the extra time, is their fullbacks getting a little bit higher, committing themselves forward, causing Wellington Phoenix problems.
Playing with all the advantage at the moment. Power sending forward their centre-backs as well. Woolley lifting it in with that left foot. McGowan rising, and Paulson above the pack. Strong in the air, the youngster. Just 21 years of age. Hasn't made a first-team appearance since March 2022. Taking his opportunity tonight with glee. Nice play from Barbarouses. Pennington Headed away by Madden. Sutton takes a touch and strikes. Slicing wide from the fullback. But such an exciting player is Sam Sutton.
Yeah, it's probably the first time we've seen him in an attacking sort of sense there. But if you're Peninsula Power, all but 30-odd yards out from an angle, you'd like to think Lockie Hunter's got that more than covered and you're more than comfortable, Peninsula Power, not breaching you in that final third.
Hunter. Sending it long for Power. Loves Samira, trying to keep it in play, marked up by Finn Sermon. Samira does well to win his side a throw in there. Relentless is the substitute. And a change for Power. And a very young player in Reece Messina coming onto the pitch for Peninsula Power. Jack Hindle, the Englishman, taking his time, walking off the pitch now. And Reece Messina, Power Junior, making his Australia Cup bow. Just 18 years of age. Started his junior football at Narang Bay Eagles, but came through the academy here at Peninsula Power. Just to the left of screen there as well is Will Jordan, who is also the doctor or the physio for Brisbane Strikers in that 2019 year. And they did go on to beat the Wellington Phoenix. And the throw in from McHenry, flicked on. Wooten will be able to deal with that one. Messina into the action early. Made his first team debut last season, did Reece Messina. Vildemariam unable to move things forward. Woolley not taking any chances. Vildemariam. Cronin.
You look how deep Wellington Phoenix are right now. Just no one actually committing themselves to the ball, getting up the football pitch, getting on the high press, the low block of 5.
Payne heading down. Defensive stuff from the Wellington Phoenix. Cronin. Power playing for it. At the moment, McHenry trying to come inside. Malachi loves Samira. Messina, the 18-year-old. What an opportunity this is for him. Spent some time at the Brisbane Roar Youth as well in their academy. Messina with that youthful exuberance. Nguyen, the ball in, and it is dealt with by Josh Woolley, not taking any chances.
Yeah, he does really well there, Campbell. You know, that ball can go anywhere. When it bounces in front of you like that, I think Woolley does well to get any sort of contact away from his own goal and, you know, get it out for a corner kick. You know, even that ball from Ngai in there, he puts the ball in, but there wasn't really many yellow jerseys in that box at that point. They're really struggling to get bodies forward, as we see in the replay there. I think it's just Barbarouses inside that box against, you know, 4 power defenders.
Just under 5 minutes to play in this first half of extra time. The corner in a dangerous area. Barbarouses with the half volley, always rising. The Wellington Phoenix players not overly happy with the decision there. Mick Pennington as well, having a bit of a conversation with Hayden McHenry.
Yeah, he's not too happy, I think, with Cronin's challenge there, but there's absolutely nothing in that, as we'll see in the replay. It's just a coming together.
And it is a goal kick for Peninsula Power. That Wellington Phoenix expected goals really hasn't risen too much in this second half. Just a sign of their struggle to create clear-cut opportunities. Sermon. Paulson under pressure. Rufer does well. A cool, calm head in that midfield is Alex Rufer. Does very well, and Tim Payne found there by Veldemariam. A tired challenge from the youngster. Tim Payne down.
Yep, looked, I saw one, didn't it? Veldemariam landing all the way on top of him there, I think. It was just a little bit too quick, cut across him. We see the fatigue now hitting both teams. Yeah, as we see here, just a tangling of legs and landing right on top of him. Never nice, that.
He sees a yellow card for it. It's getting towards pickle juice territory at the moment. Tied legs out there. A sloppy challenge from Veldemariam, but he's been getting so much effort all game long. You can't blame him after over 100 minutes of football. Now the Phoenix, an opportunity. Kraev goes wide, and Hayden McHenry able to put it out for a corner.
That was better play, wasn't it, from Wellington Phoenix there. Rudland down that right-hand side. Looked very, very sharp after his first touch. Very, very quick. But no takers. I think Kraev just not getting enough contact on the ball. It's coming at some pace, though, isn't it, for him to get full contact on that. Difficult chance.
Newen standing over the corner for the Phoenix. Low ball. Finds its way through. Messina at the front post. Unable to get a piece of it. Barbarousis. Messina does well just to hold him off. Two players at opposite ends of the spectrum. Sutton giving away the ball. Cronin loves Samira. Trying to go around the defence. Does well, but it's brought out by Sutton. Sermon able to collect. Sam Sutton not happy with it either. The tangle of bodies on the near touchline. And the Phoenix able to reset. Sutton. 1-2 from Barbarousis. Barbarousis getting into more central areas now. Filling that Zavada void, and Kraev going down off the ball. Rudland on the edge of the box. Kraev turns through, goes down, no foul given. Looking for the foul was the Bulgarian. And Shane Skinner's not having a bar of it. Barbarousis flicked for Kraev, and it will be a corner.
Just putting a little bit of pressure on now Wellington Phoenix in the last couple of minutes. Well defended again there from Greenwood off Kraev. Rudland looking really lively down that right-hand side as well, isn't he? Very, very sharp from what we've seen. Absolutely no foul there, though. Right decision from the referee.
Newen on the dead ball. Towards the back post, a dangerous one, but too much on it. Not in a great area, as it were. And that is the end of the first half of extra time here at AJ Kelly Park. Penalties get closer and closer by the second. A big first half of that extra time. Neither side able to make a breakthrough. Peninsula Power perhaps on top in that first half of stoppage time. It is still Peninsula Power 1, Wellington Phoenix 1. Wellington Phoenix did make their way back into it, Scott. Plenty of work and making their way back into the game, gaining some of that confidence back.
Yeah, you'd have to say the pendulum swung a little bit in that first half of extra time, didn't it? Wellington Phoenix sort of playing behind the ball first sort of 5 minutes of the game. Peninsula Power having a little bit of the play, getting further up the pitch. Nothing really to talk about in terms of chances at either end. You could have to say Kraev's half chance, but the ball just came across too quickly there off Rudland's cross. But, you know, positive for Wellington Phoenix and how they finished that half particularly. I think Barbarousis having a shot as well, flash by. Sutton had one as well, but not working Lockie Hunter as it is just yet. But you'd have to say that you'd feel as if there's going to be at least one opportunity for one of the sides before this game ends. and goes to penalties. If it does go to penalties, you would like to think.
Well, they've got to throw the kitchen sink at it. Obron Klajcic finishes his day. Jamil Roberts, some fresh legs on for Peninsula Power. Will that be the difference? Here at AJ Kelly Park, former Kansas City and Tormenta FC player in the USA is Jamil Roberts. Can he be a change maker for Peninsula Power? Plenty of fresh legs up top. Plenty of opportunities for someone to put their name in headlines. The Magic of the Cup could well be well and truly alive. Sutton. Cronin. Pennington does well. The goal scorer for the Phoenix, and Newen unable to keep that in play on the far side. Cronin. Newen grabbing plenty of that jersey as well. Woolley towards the back post. Headed down by the Phoenix. Loves Samira with an opportunity. And it does get a hand of Alex Paulson.
Well, it's definitely a corner, isn't it? From what we've seen here, the referee's not seen it, but definitely gets a hand to that. It might have been going wide, the initial shot itself, though, but really good play again, as we see Woolley pulling the strings at the back. Lovely little diag, causing trouble. Love Samira picked up the second ball here. I think, as we see, I think, yeah, he does get a fingertip to it.
Whether it's already out at that stage or not, don't know. Alex Paulson grabbing that left, or the right knee, I should say, after that same attempt, and sloppiness creeping in for the Wellington Phoenix. An errant header leading to that opportunity, and they've given away a throw-in once more.
Yeah, if you're a head coach, they're the things that really irritate you, because it gives the opposition a massive lift as well.
Peninsula Power will be buoyed by it. Paulson under pressure, not taking any chances, just clears it. Has been great with his feet today. However, McGowan, no nonsense, heading it away. Krajev down, the Bulgarian. Playing it out, can't make the run of Tim Payne. And the Wellington heads going down a little bit at the moment. Needing to tighten those screws. Woolley, a great ball in for Love Samira, who does well to control it. Jamil Roberts, nice turn, gives away possession. Mountain winning it back for Power. McGowan under pressure. And Barbarouses gives away the foul. Peninsula Power really buoyed at the moment. Plenty of positives for them to play with. McHenry getting ahead on that one. Sutton under pressure. McHenry keeps it in. Paulson alert. Johnny on the spot. Gets off his line well.
Well, he had to be, Campbell, didn't he? Because he wasn't alert for the first one. I think Sutton was thinking he was going to come out and collect it, or he could nod it back to him. He didn't get any word from Paulson whatsoever, and luckily he was alive for that second phase there.
Young keepers often need to remain vocal. Woolley does well to evade too. Messina, the youngster, dropping deep for Power as well. Jamil Roberts, the substitute, trying to drive it across there. It does deflect off, but it will be offside. He can't believe it. Payne, so many numbers back for the Wellington Phoenix. Wooten. Pennington under pressure. 3 players in the Power box, trying to win it back in a high area. Greenwood does well. Winning it off. Boshadar Krajev. Greenwood. Woolley. An outstanding game. McGowan. Wooden chesting it down, won by Cronin. Just picks his pocket. An opportunity for power. Cronin towards the back post, headed up by Pennington. Not held by Paulson, punched away. Kraev. Messina. Collecting Bojidar Kraev after the fact and sees yellow. The substitute not happy with it.
Yeah, can't have arguments there, but I think Paulson does really, really well here again. Coming out, punching, getting some distance on this one in the second phase. After Pennington gets the flick on, Paulson gets a nice clear punch on it. And he's looked very, very good, hasn't he? Looked very confident tonight. Very accomplished for such a young goalkeeper.
Peninsula Plower doing really well to play off the Wellington Phoenix's errors as well. Sam Cronin just reading Scott Wootton's error, picking his pocket. Rudlin giving away possession. Jamil Roberts sending it forward, but errant in the end.
It's all still a little bit laboured from Wellington Phoenix, isn't it? There's no real pace or ball speed at the moment. You would expect them, if they're looking for a winner, to throw a little bit more at this game at the moment.
Sutton. Rufer. Here's Wooden. Nguyen. Barbarouses. Rufer, the captain. Can he stand up for his side? Payne trying to play it through in behind for Rudlin. Greenwood doing so well to evade them. Roberts. So many numbers back for the Wellington Phoenix. Greenwood. Cronin. Touch lets him down a little bit there, just off the underside of the boot. Rudland. Challenged by Roberts, but doesn't manage to come up with it. Lovely switch from Tim Payne. Nguyen. McHenry marking him well. Brilliant challenge. Does send it out for a corner.
It's a fantastic challenge, isn't it, from Hayden there? You know, it has to time it perfectly there. As we can see, wonderful challenge there, ever so late. He's feeling it a little bit as well with all the running that he's done so far.
Nguyen standing over the corner kick, delivered. Michael McGowan clearing it. Pennington. Rudland. Jamil Roberts diving into the challenge there expertly. And Peninsula Power playing with such confidence right now.
Yeah, they're defending well. Still another 10 minutes, you would have to say, to go in this match. I think it's Valdemarian's gone down now. Looks like cramp.
When he fouled Tim Payne, getting his yellow card just earlier. He did have a little energy bottle, but maybe that's run out for him here. Substitute is getting ready on the far side. Josip Milosevic. Will Jordan, the team physio, treating him now. Will Jordan, the physio for the Brisbane Strikers 2019 side. And that defeated Wellington Phoenix. Wellington's only ever time playing in Queensland for the round of 32 of the Australia Cup. They did go on to lose that one. Solomon Valdemariam really struggling here. And it looks like that will be the end of his day. And Josip Milicevic coming on for Peninsula Power. Player you've coached before, Scott McDonald.
Yes, I have. Yeah, look, still very, very young. Came through the Brisbane Roar Academy, had another spell there, and has come to Peninsula Power and that transfer window now, and picked up a slight knock, but you know, playing regularly for Peninsula Power and doing very, very well in that defensive midfield role.
I was with you at Gold Coast Knights in the NPL Queensland. The ball now, Milicevic, his first involvement. Payne. Payne with the ball in once more, and too long, in fact. Still plenty of time to play. Still plenty of time for a winner to be decided.
You just wonder, though, don't you, if it does go to penalty kicks, all the experience that's come off for that Peninsula Power side and what's been brought on. It's a very, very young-looking Peninsula Power team to go and then take penalties under this sort of pressure.
Anything can happen in a penalty shootout. It's exactly how Wellington Phoenix lost against Brisbane Strikers back in 2019. Campbell Johnson and Scott McDonald here in commentary for 10 play. The round of 32 of the Australia Cup. And it's nights like these that are what the Australia Cup's all about. An A-League men's club coming to a grassroots community club, putting on a show. Every side with the hope that they can get a result against professional players, professional teams. And the magic of the cup is alive. Can it last a little bit longer for Peninsula Power? Almost. A stray header from Tim Payne. Sutton. Cronin. Milicevic. Streaming forward for Power. Loves Samira. He scored twice off the bench against Northwest Sydney last season in the Australia Cup. He's looked lively since coming on in the second stanza. Rudland. Unable to get past Lewis Greenwood, who's been absolutely exceptional all game long. The goal scorer for Peninsula Power, a brilliant left-footed strike. Sutton. Pennington. Sutton trying to play it in behind for Bajidar Kraev, the Bulgarian, and Michael McGowan. That's that Scottish DNA. Hoof it out. When in doubt.
He's not messing around there, is he? The multi-ball's on show tonight, though, so it's coming back quick.
Most experienced player out there for Peninsula Power is Michael McGowan. Not taking any chances in these late stages.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? No urgency to the game here from Wellington Phoenix to go and win this football match with only 2 minutes to go. Still just building up from the back.
Penalty shootout could be a coin toss if we go that way. With just 2 minutes to play in extra time. Nguyen, the academy player, towards the front post.
Oh, it's in.
And it's in.
Oh, no.
And the heartbreak of Peninsula Power fans. The magic of the cup dies as the Wellington Phoenix grab a winner right at the death here at AJ Kelly Park. Disbelief for the Peninsula Power players.
Oh, that's an absolute hammer blow, isn't it, for them? You know, Rudland gets all the way across the near post, doesn't make clear contact with it, but enough to beat Lachlan Hunter. And a commentator's curse there saying that Wellington Phoenix weren't really throwing many bodies forward there, still patient in the build-up with 2 minutes to go. But that's a really, really hard one for Peninsula Power to take so late in the game as well, and all the effort they put in and the wonderful performance that they've had almost all goes to waste now in the 119th minute of this football match.
And Josh Rudland, what a moment for him, the youngster. His first goal for the Wellington Phoenix on debut. Unbelievable for him, stepping up in a big moment, and a change being made for the Wellington Phoenix. Bonjadar Krayev, day comes to an end, taking his time, shakes Shane Skinner's hand, says thank you very much. And another debut, Benjamin Wallace, coming on for the Wellington Phoenix. Great moment for Ben Wallace. Last opportunities for Peninsula Power. Player down for the Wellington Phoenix. And a yellow card shown. To Michael McGowan, by the looks of things. The centre-back getting far forward.
Yeah, well, you have to throw everything at it now, throw the kitchen sink at him. I think Pennington feels that way at the moment, that it has been thrown at him. But overall, you have to say it's been an excellent performance from Peninsula Power to go a goal down early within this football game. And it looked like for all money that Wellington Phoenix were going to coast this, you know, in clear control of the football match. They come out and changed a couple of things in that second half, got on top, got the fullbacks higher. Excellent finish from Louis Greenwood to get them back into this football match, and from there you thought it was all Peninsula Power.
They've shown so much character. They can be so proud of their performance as a side. They may not advance, well, they've held a great account of themselves, but there's still time for something to happen. It is cleared by Alex Paulson. They look to move quick. Willpower. Last chances. It's not dead just yet. Anything can happen. Everyone going forward. Lockie Hunter, the goalkeeper, up on the halfway line. Wants the ball in. Can he get himself an assist?
Oh no.
His touch lets him down momentarily. Messina, the 18-year-old, lifting it in, and Paulson happy to crash on it. And that is full time here at AJ Kelly Park in the round of 32 of the Australia Cup. The Wellington Phoenix advance past the round of 32 for the third year in a row. They win their first Australia Cup game in Queensland in dramatic fashion. The score at AJ Kelly Park after extra time is Peninsula Power 1, Wellington Phoenix 2. Oh, wow. What a game. Campbell Johnson in commentary. Scott McDonald alongside me. They pushed them right till the wire. And unfortunately, to a Josh Rudland debut goal, fall just short.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Peninsula Power showed great character within the game. You know, the performance itself was really, really good. Wellington Phoenix starting the game really well, getting that goal off Lockie Hunter. You know, you have to say it's a mistake from Lockie Hunter. You know, Pennington pouncing and making it 1-0 for Wellington Phoenix. And you're thinking, well, they're just going to keep the ball from here and sort of suck Peninsula Power out again in that second half and be patient and wait for the openings. But it wasn't to be like that. We talked about it in the commentary there about Peninsula Power, how they come out in that second half. They threw a few more bodies forward, particularly their fullbacks, pinning the Wellington Phoenix, you know, wide men a bit back as well, and then starting to control the game, particularly through Woolley, who I thought was probably Peninsula Power's best man on the day. And we see a couple of the highlights here within the football match, and you know, Louis Greenwood as well with his chance, his first touch. He does ever so well to react, doesn't he? You know, it looks like the Tim Payne's done enough here to block him. It goes through to Watton, but he manages just to toe poke it past them both, and Paulson absolutely no chance because he takes it ever so quickly to react for that. He almost gets there, and it puts Peninsula Power back in that football match, doesn't it? But right in the 119th minute, Rudland getting on the score sheet on his debut for Wellington Phoenix. What a story that is. But absolute heartbreak for Peninsula Power.
It simply does not get more heartbreaking than that 119th minute. So much effort being put in there. And while the possession, most of the control was with Wellington Phoenix, Peninsula Power really showed a good side of them.
Yeah, they did. You know, for as much as Wellington Phoenix had the ball, I think if you were to break that down in thirds, then a lot of that would have been in the defensive third itself. But, you know, Peninsula Power, they can hold their heads up high, and they've got a lot to build on, you know, for next season now. I think that's what they'll look upon. Aaron Felt back in the help there, and they can be proud of their performance tonight.
Well, the Wellington Phoenix advanced for just the third time past the round of 32, and what a game it was. They showed a great account of themselves and showed great fighting spirit. They'll be partying on the streets of Wellington, the Windy City, tonight. A brilliant performance in the end, great character. It ends at AJ Kelly Park after extra time. Peninsula Power 1, Wellington Phoenix 2.
Yeah, too easy, mate. No stress.